for the defense, though, they were just over there sitting on the field. They had to rush out to try to defend that.
You know, it's funny. They actually practice situations that they call sudden change when the team turns it over. I'll guarantee you no one practices a fumble return for a touchdown like that, and now someone goes for two. Really good strategy by them putting them in that situation.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. On 1st and 10, Goff. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the fourth quarter. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. From the 50, it's Goff. Yet again, and a loose football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one. Just because you've got the lead in the fourth, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
A strong running. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on fourth. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. Edelman with a shiftiness. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Now Mahomes. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
What a huge touchdown that was, obviously, here in the late stages of the fourth quarter as they try to put this one away.
And, Brandon, when they watch the film after this week, they'll be very proud of every rep if they close this game out. Just a few snaps remaining. They can't relax just yet.
They'll look to throw. And he's got it. So the two-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth quarter lead. So they go with a pass success there on the two-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their two-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have two-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
A shotgun snap for Gong. And now a fumble. The ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Second time. He's fumbled in this game. Fortunate for him, this one goes out of bounds.
And the key for him now is how much equity have you built up with your coaching staff? How much equity have you built up with your team to continue to get opportunities? Fortunate that one went out of bounds, saved him from a turn.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it.
The pass pulled in by Jones. What a catch.
And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Julio Jones, 29 yards.
And the Chiefs have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the 2-point try. Now Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. And make them 4 for 4 now on 2-point conversions as he'll take this one in for the score. And with a successful 2-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass.
Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better.
And Andrews lost the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. And I don't know that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. That's going to be caught by Reed for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. 28 yards.
And the Chiefs have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th.
Mahomes now going to lead his guys up for the 2-point try. Now back to throw. That's caught. And they're a perfect 5 for 5 now on 2-point conversions as he is in to get them 2 more.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, They go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Got his man, it's Warren.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
They'll line up with 4 receivers here on 3rd and 10.
Goff. That is caught. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
Now a first down throw. Goff.
They'll get this into the hands of Ayuk.
The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Now Goff. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
Chad Ryland now to add the PAT.
Now that shaves a bit off the lead. It's now a 23-point game. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Just all around a solid performance, and now they've got the 3-score lead here, Charles. So the final seconds of the 4th quarter.
Yeah, in this one, they've been in control, haven't they? They've earned this victory. No question who the better team was out there in this game. And frankly, the score could...
He's got a man complete. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Dalton Schultz, 63 yards.
And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So it goes from a... Three-score to a 4-score lead here in the closing moments of the 4th quarter. And whether they got that bonus touchdown or not, it's been a pretty impressive performance.
And they did it with not much time left. But they took what little time was on the clock and used it well, didn't they? Put a real exclamation point on their win with that score.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
But I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
And that'll just about do it for us in this one. You've notched another win, and the next challenge awaits. Third quarter starts with a run from Connor. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
From the gun, here's Goff. Connects with Kittle underneath. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
3rd down and 1.
He'll try and run for it with Connor. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were.
Down at the 25.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The Goff's throw pulled in by...
And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. There he goes, right side. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Mahomes now to throw. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. And, boy, things switched on a dime here. The fumble recovery for the touchdown and also a 2-point try on top successful.
That feels like a momentum call. Pick it up on a fumble return, take it the other way for a touchdown. That's demoralizing for a team to have it happen against them. So the offense just says, you know something? Let's add to it. Pile on top, go for 2.
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And now off to the races down the right side. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. And in the third quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for 2 too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Goff on first down.
That one is...
Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. Room here to run. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they try to make it a 2-score game with a conversion. It pays off.
And they've looked at the situation, figured it out well. A 2-score game in this situation, they've got to feel much better about where they are.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
This to the back of the landing zone. He'll return it from the 1. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Tennessee offense set to go again.
They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. On second down, Connor looking for space. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for two. Mahomes going to throw. And this one incomplete. So they went for the two. They don't get it. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. For the fourth quarter, we'll begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter.
That's going to be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Here's Connor on first down going nowhere as he's going to be stacked up behind the line. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Back to throw, Goff. Finds his running back, James Conner. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's first and 10.
Now Goff. This is caught. It's Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset.
This is first and 10.
They've got a first and 10 as they search for a late score. On first down, Goff. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
It's Joshua Williams with a pick, and the Chiefs are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, obviously, Charles, this stage of the game, down 2 scores, they had to put the football in the air. Unfortunately, it gets picked off.
And the criticism comes easily in situations like this, but you just laid it out. Look where they are on the scoreboard. Look at where the clock is in the game. He has to take a chance here and try and get the ball downfield to his receivers. Unfortunately, it was picked off.
Good starting field position for them as they come up first and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Looking downfield for Jones. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. Mahomes going to throw it here. Touchdown! Antonio Gates from 4 yards out.
And the Chiefs have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter.
Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the two-point try. Here's Mahomes to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. He hits the big target for the two-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively.
They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move.
And it's a fumble, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. And that is caught by Edelman. Touchdown, Kansas City. A 24-yard touchdown.
And the Chiefs up the lead to 4 scores now here in this fourth quarter. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Now here's Mahomes. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
The Titans set and ready to go on offense.
They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Goff now looks to throw. This to McLaurin out on the left side. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. To the air again. Goff. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. And the Chiefs are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. KC's offense ready to take over. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to look deep for Edelman. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play there for KC. 59 yards. recklessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. To throw, it's Mahomes. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Well done. You've defeated this ultimate challenge. Now, if there are stars still available, you... So no scoring in our first half. What will the second half bring as we are now back underway? And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Giants offense set to begin this third quarter. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight. Maybe not this tight, scoreless as we start the third quarter.
And I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it a little bit different direction here because it's not just tight on the scoreboard. I think both offenses have been tight in how they've played this game.
Now he's hit and the ball comes out. Manziel lost it, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
So this game tied at the half, and if you wondered who would come up with the first big play in this third quarter, we have our answer.
Well, in basketball, you know how they tell you to have active hands defensively? I think the same thing applies here. Nice job there prying the ball free. And now their guys have a chance to take the lead if they can put something together. The beauty of doing it in football, you don't get called for a foul if you hit their arms.
Off the play fake, here's Cordell Stewart. And that is caught. What a catch at the 3-yard line. 25 yards that time.
A promising sign there from an offense that hasn't done a whole lot to this point. Nice job to locate the open receiver. And it's good yardage and a first down to open the drive.
Spiller fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2.
No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
I don't know how memorable that play will be as this game rolls along, but it's almost like what my coach used to call setting the pads play. Everybody just kind of getting readjusted to playing after the halftime break.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Again, Spiller.
And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. C.J. Spiller taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Chiefs have taken the lead. And And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends were on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
So the Chiefs opt to keep the offense out there, and they'll line up to go for 2. Stewart. And he's got it. So they decide to still go for it even after the 5-yard penalty, and they convert. And that one was made so tough by the penalty, pushing them back to the 7. They still got it done, though.
Yeah, and the big surprise is that the extra point unit doesn't run out there with the kicker. Okay, you move it back to the 7, but they felt like they needed to have it, and they felt like they had a good play call, and they were successful.
And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Manziel. Now the ball comes loose.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Stewart sets to throw. And it's complete to Antonio Gates. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Throwing now, Stewart being chased out left. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Cordell Stewart taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
So this, Charles, a tight game through the first 2 quarters, but they've come out in this second half and really took the fight to them.
And you and I both know that in the locker room at halftime, both sides' head coaches emphasize the first 5 minutes of the second half, getting out and establishing yourselves. One team has definitely done that.
So the Chiefs opt to keep the offense out there, and they'll line up to go for 2. Here's Stewart to throw it. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on the two-point try. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Now Manziel.
He'll find his rookie wideout from Ohio State here.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Here's Manziel. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. The job one to pick up the first down is complete. That was a big 3rd down conversion, but they got to watch the clock. It's starting to become their enemy a bit here in a 2-score game.
Which means they have to pick up the pace, right? The tempo has to be upped. And what they do is they tell the quarterback in his helmet, hey, listen, when we pick up the first down here, tell everyone we're going. We're moving now to 2-minute offensive phase, and everyone on the bench area, they're waving them along too. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Hill's hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Going to go play action. Here's Stewart. Going deep here for Adelman. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Julian Edelman, 61 yards. And the Chiefs have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
This is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. So the two-point conversion trend continues, at least as far as trying those goes. They've attempted them after all 3 touchdowns, CD, and converted now 2 of them.
They're not just dipping their toe in the water, are they? I mean, they're committed to going for 2 points, and 2 out of 3, now with a 22-0 lead. In a sense, they're a little bit ahead of the curve, because normally it would be 21, wouldn't it?
And with the way their defense is playing, I don't know if it matters if they do convert any of these.
And able to get this out to the 25.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on this.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field.
Well, they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable 4th quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery.
They will throw on 1st down with Stewart. Man open, here is Jones. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time. Now Stewart on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw. Stewart. He's got it. Touchdown. Julian Edelman with now 2 4th quarter touchdowns.
And the Chiefs have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Now he's hit and the ball comes out. Manziel lost it. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Back to throw. Stewart. And they don't get it. They tried for the two-point conversion there, but unsuccessful.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for two in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you just say, well, my kicker's hurting this spot. No, okay.
New York set to take the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that'll be, and oh, he coughed it up, and it's picked up by the Chiefs.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. Julian Edelman gets ready to take the field again here on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Right there, 54 Mike. Hey, watch the screen. Hey, check that, street. Ready.
And they'll begin this drive with C.J. Spiller. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
70 Rangers, Army Ranger.
You remember me? Let's go, baby. Mike's by four. Mike's by four. Mike's by four. You're trash. You're trash.
Looking to throw. Stewart flushed out right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side.
And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon.